few times I haven't had to. It's been quite just favorite band. And welcome back to Not Coming Soon, part 3 of Table for Who? They don't know. We don't. We know, but we're really excited to have you back. It's opening day for all you baseball fans out there. That's again another look into the development process of what it takes to do this show. A lot of time, a lot of effort, not a lot of money. But before we get back to Table for Who, we're gonna just talk about the industry. What's going on right now? What's on the tube? What's going on, Jeff? What do you got going on?
Great question. So, I don't know if you're familiar with a new straight to streaming film. I believe it was on. Actually, I got a couple. I got a couple of straight to streaming films to talk to you about today.
All right.
So the first one is
Very nice.
Ricky Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki.
Have you heard anything about this movie?
I did not know that was a film.
So
And
it's
I might lose my job.
what was that?
I might lose my job. It's funny because it's like I get paid.
No, you get paid to be exactly who you are.
That's how I feel.
Okay, so Ricky Stenicki feels like a movie that is out of time. And I looked a little bit into the development process that we can talk about in a little bit. But the premise of the movie is that there are three gentlemen who have created a character that gets them out of things, like a childhood friend that gets them out of things with their spouses. His name is Ricky Stenicki. He would always be blamed for trouble growing up. He would be the scapegoat in a lot of their antics. And as they grew into adulthood, it is something that they used as an excuse, as an excuse to get out of things with their wives, basically. So the movie opens with them taking a trip to some concert while a baby shower for one of their wives is happening. This movie is starring Zac Efron, top line starring Zac Efron and John Cena.
Yeah, okay. I did know this was a thing. I didn't know that was the title or the name. Okay. I was wondering what those. I kept seeing clips of those too, and I'm like, what movie is this? Okay.
Ricky Stenicki. That's that movie.
Ricky Stenicki.
So
nice.
On this trip, they miss the birth of one of their children. Yes, unfortunately. So this comes to a head, and they are forced to bring Ricky Stenicki to something. It is too inconvenient to continue a lie that has. Yes, it's just they've come to a situation where they need to have Ricky Stenicki show up to something. Caught in a lie.
Yeah.
So on this trip, on this initial trip that we saw, they met John Cena, who is a X-rated parody singer in Atlantic City. I don't know. He's in some like
Interesting.
Yes. So he
Interesting. Dude's living his best life.
Yes. So he sings things like "My Achy Breaky Boner" or something like that. Yes.
Covered.
So he gives them his card. He's an actor. So they think, you know what? Who should play Ricky Stenicki? Can't be anybody that we know tangentially or whatever. So let's call this guy. So they bring in John Cena to play Ricky Stenicki. And you know what? John Cena he shines in this thing. it feels like the
Yeah.
weirdest thing out of the like out of nowhere, like this or not out of nowhere. It feels like a relic of a movie. Like they don't make these movies anymore. It's like I think it's directed by one of the Fairley brothers or Farley brothers. Don't yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So they directed
Farley.
like Dumb and Dumber and that kind of era. So it kind of feels like that, but it looks, you know how like the like modern movies really like look too real, like
Yes. No, I know
yeah.
exactly
So
what you're saying. Yeah.
it feels like a movie that was from a long time ago, but uh it's shot today. It's weird. It's off putting.
I got you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Off-putting.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Okay.
so I will give you a little bit of I'll give you a little bit of context of some of the production stuff that I saw. So it was originally written in, I think, 2010.
Latin.
In Latin, yes.
2010,
Yes.
man.
So originally written in 2010, and James Franco was supposed to play the Ricky Stenicki part. Yeah, so I think it went through a bunch of different iterations. I think at one point Jim Carrey was attached to play Ricky Stenicki.
Makes sense with the director.
Yeah, so it feels like one of those kinds of movies, like of the Will Ferrell and the Hangover
John C.
height.
Yeah. Oh.
That it feels like it's squarely there. So it doesn't feel like a modern comedy. It feels weird.
So is it like pretty crude and like perhaps insensitive, like how some movies don't they don't do that anymore. So
yes.
Much,
so
like
this is.
away with it.
I think that the premise of it and the way that it feels like it should be one of those movies that has that crudeness factor, but tried to put itself in the modern lens, and it doesn't work. Like,
interesting.
I'm not sitting here saying, man, I wish it was less politically correct, but do you know what I mean? Like it feels like it wants to be politically incorrect, and it wants to be a comedy of like 2010, but it tries to toe some lines, and it didn't work for me. Like as a package, it didn't work for me. I thought John Cena was great, and I think John Cena like it made me want to watch those stupid couples vacation.
Oh, couples
or
retreat.
like couples.
Is it couples retreat?
No, he's in like two like
yes.
Like friends you meet on vacation or something like that.
Oh my gosh, yes. I have to know this right now.
Vacation Friends.
Oh my god, that's really
the
name?
Okay. So I think that he's really good in the movie, and I think that he is part of what works about it, but it ultimately doesn't work. Yeah.
But that's interesting. I'm glad I know what that is now, because I had seen multiple clips of them in a room, Zac Efron and John Cena, and I didn't know what it was. Ricky Stenicki. Yeah, like that's just bringing back like role models.
Role models is, I think that's perfect. It was like, yes, it feels like it should have been, not that it feels like it wanted to be role models, but was made too late to be role models, which is not like, again, I'm not trying to say, man, I wish this was, yeah.
Those movies had a time and place, and it was in the past.
Yes.
So, we love them. We appreciate them. Can't really do that anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Cool.
The audiences today, though, I feel like there's not as many like huge hit comedies that I think come out.
Yeah.
And I think we're looking for our niche. Like, what's the type of humor that everyone can agree on right now? We're not quite sure.
Right. And I think that the studios are also like, we need really big splashy movies that to actually go into theaters. We need splashy movies that have big hooks and high effects to be like event movies to get into the theater, and we're putting like really cheap comedies on straight to streaming, so they don't have the eventness of them, of the like comedies of old, like, which is weird because they used to be super successful. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean,
We're still adjusting.
Get by making those movies cheaper, because if you're dealing with a comedy, you don't necessarily have to have to like go nuts on effects.
Yeah.
You just gotta dish out for the comedic talent.
Yeah.
We'll see. See if we find something.
We'll find a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
I watched. I hesitate to say comedy, but parts of this are very funny.
Okay.
I rented American Fiction.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I tried to see it in theaters and I didn't get a chance. Yeah. And so this was, for whatever reason, the four, or I guess the newer ones are like $10. For whatever reason, the like $10 to rent something on Amazon is just the price I'm not willing to pay. Like, I will spend money on the stupidest stuff, but I'm like, it's not on anything. Can't. Hands are tied. But this one, I was like, oh, we should rent this. And I thought, you do know the premise?
Yes.
Or at least from like the trailers. I thought that was going to be like, everything in this movie I thought was going to be centered around that concept. But it really uses that thing tangentially to get its point across, because it's interwoven with a bunch of other storylines, and a lot of it's very dramatic and very sad. So you laugh at times, and you're like introspective at other times, and you're like downright sad at other times. So it's a very emotional movie, and it's very, very funny. Like, a lot of it's really good. Like oh my gosh, Sterling K. Brown is not who I thought he was going to be in it, and he's hilarious.
I think he's super funny. I have like not seen him anything. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, I watched. He was in like a mega church movie where he was like a pastor of a mega church who has personal issues, and but the movie I thought was okay, but I think he's very compelling. He's got a great voice.
Yes, he does. So he's the like screw up brother in this to Jeffrey Wright. And so it's hard hitting, but it's a great watch. It's one of the, when you see a movie that's kind of dramatic and you're like, I'm glad I watched it, but I probably won't watch it again. That's not like this. I enjoyed watching it, so I would like to see it again. Jeffrey Wright, it's a delight. He doesn't have, I don't think he goes too far away from Jeffrey Wright, but he just like has moments where he like has these like spouts of what seems like genuine laughter and giggles, and it's great.
Fun.
It's like when Ron Swanson would giggle. It was awesome. It's again, with a movie like this, there's a lot of banter and just dialogue. Yeah. So it's very dialogue driven. So it does a really good job.
I also watched Expendables 4, which is stylized as Expendables. It's
that someone needs to answer.
Yeah.
For that. like statutory. Yeah.
No, it's that one was just like a terrible movie, and and probably we'll cut this as well, but my impression of the Expendables movie, what the franchise itself was to take aging action stars who had been regulated to had been relegated to straight to DVD crappy action movies that were just churning them out.
You guys enjoying Jeffrey's doctoral dissertation on the Expendables franchise?
Okay. My impression of what the Expendables franchise was supposed to be was that they were supposed to bring aging action stars from the 80s and 90s and pull them back out of obscurity after being relegated to straight to DVD Walmart bargain bin crap and give them a platform to be movie stars again. The first one, I think, growing pains, you got to figure out how, like, figure themselves out and take on the identity that they were trying to get to. So still felt a little straight to DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
Second one, I think they found their stride. They really leaned into it. Excellent. Second one was great. The third one, I think they lost their way just a little bit, but they brought in Antonio Banderas, and Antonio Banderas absolutely killed it. He brought in a whole breath of fresh air. They had some new blood in there. Glenn Powell was in Expendables 3. Yeah, it was great. Expendables 4 looked terrible. The CG was so bad. They couldn't get the full cast back. So they had somebody in there who was playing Antonio Banderas' son, who was just doing a straight Antonio Banderas impression.
Smooth.
But, like, I'm convinced that when they wrote the movie, they wrote Antonio Banderas' character in and threw in a line that said, "Oh, this is his son." And he just they didn't change a single line of dialogue afterwards.
Love it. Love it.
So weird. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And
well, it was I saw like one trailer like the day before it was released. It was insane.
Yeah. Like I didn't you know how I realized that it had come out in theaters?
How was that?
I was exiting Best Buy and I saw the DVD on sale.
They still sell those?
I think they're phasing them out. But the fact remains, I saw a few trailers for it in the theaters, and then the next thing I heard about it was, oh, this has already been in theaters and been released on DVD.
Man, they just need that theatrical run to go to the Oscars, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. They gotta hit the awards window.
Yeah, understandable.
Okay, well, that's enough of the Expendables.
I don't want to say I told you so, but when you and Caroline were talking about, dude, we're gonna get into the Expendables, I told you.
Have you seen the Expendables?
It was not gonna be fun. No, and I don't want to. I have zero desire to.
The concept.
You have to understand.
Okay, but no. Not that you have to understand, but just hearing the concept, it's interesting, right? It's compelling. The execution sucked, but
yeah,
we'll see. And I think that it's going to keep going. Yeah.
Great.
So next stop, Fast and Furious franchise.
Jeez. Except for this one, like Fast and Furious was like very strong for like, I'll give them like 5 full ones and maybe 6 bleeding into 7. Just like my perception of how people.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single one. I probably saw the first one.
I've seen like 5 and then 8. Like
oh,
it's
okay.
like not into the
Like
franchise.
not two. You've not seen up to 5. You have literally just seen
No. I have
Fast
seen
5.
Fast 5 and 8 Furious, however they name them. But the Expendables seems like they didn't have any solid reception at any point, and they just keep making them.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they
Yeah.
have, because they wouldn't. I mean, it's all about the cha-ching. So there's a reason.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know that reason.
It's
Right.
yeah. I honestly don't know, because I don't know where the money went. I think that I saw. I don't know how much the budget was, but it was way more than I saw on the screen. It might have just gone to Jason Statham, honestly.
I was gonna say, I think the actors just had him by the nads here, and Antonio Banderas wouldn't put his foot down, so they're like, we physically don't have the money, so we can't pay you. But like,
I think Jason Statham is consistently on the list of like highest paid actors every year.
well, because he'll do the Beekeeper or the Hunt, whatever that is, and he'll do the Meg. He's doing these. It's so funny because he seems like such a serious guy.
I think I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either, and that's partially because of what was he in? Was it Spy? What was he in with like Melissa McCarthy?
I think so. I think that's right.
Like making fun of it. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but my friends rave about Jason Statham in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I don't know. It puts food on the table.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you have fun. I mean, I feel like I would be terrible at discerning what movies to take and not to take. I was thinking, like, you're handed a script, and like when Mark Hamill was handed the script for Star Wars, like everyone's like, oh yeah, you have to take that role. But if you read a script about space battles with aliens and droids, without like it would mean like nothing to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you're handing something with almost
anyway, you kind of have to like let lightning strike. I don't know. You have to pick good directors, good writers, whatever. I don't know. But speaking of action movies, dumb action movies, I did watch another straight to streaming movie. This one was on the Amazon Prime service. Roadhouse. This is the remake of the Roadhouse. This is a remake of oh my gosh, of the classic Patrick Swayze film.
Classic.
That I watched after I watched the Jake Gyllenhaal 2024 version. Yeah. So this one, very interesting. Yeah. I'm just going to share this with the lens of comparing the two from the perspective of somebody who watched the original after the remake.
Okay, yes, because I have not seen the Jake Gyllenhaal. I've not seen the next iteration, so appreciate that.
So the first one, the original, takes itself completely seriously. It is
extremely so.
It is earnest in what they like set out to make, and there's a
in the face of the ridiculousness of what happens in the
movie. There's no winking in this movie.
No.
The new one is all winking.
Love it.
So the new one is directed by Doug Liman, who is like incredibly chaotic and hit or miss for me. But when he hits, he hits huge. Like Born and Edge of Tomorrow and Mr. and Mrs. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we could argue about whether that's a good movie or just a good time. But this was a miss. Jake Gyllenhaal is doing so much in this movie, and he is the reason I didn't turn this movie off.
Dude, you telling me Conor McGregor?
Dude, Conor McGregor sucked. He
I was hoping he would.
he is the just. I can't. I don't know what direction he was given, but he is just an insane person in this movie. He
Okay. He's off the.
he walks like he's sitting on a horse, like his.
But that's how he walks.
Okay, then maybe he was just Conor McGregor. It was an insane performance. There is really weird CG in this thing. Like the fights.
Okay.
There's a lot of CG in fights today, but like they try to make them seamless as much as possible. This was in your face, like video game animation.
Oh, I hate that.
Like it was weird. It was off. It was unsettling. So I don't know. It just felt like after. So I watched the remake, then I watched the original.
Yeah.
And the original is funny, but it's not meant to be funny. It's
yes.
There are some
That is accurate.
buck wild lines.
Absolutely.
But it
has
feels like it was purposeful and like I don't know. It feels deliberate. This one just feels rushed and put together weird, and I don't know. But Billy Magnuson killed it as well. So there are like some great
expect nothing less.
There's some great Billy Magnuson and Jake Gyllenhaal together. Get out of town.
Oh man, dream team.
Get out of here.
Do we think Sam Elliott was born, lived for like 20 years, aged straight to like 58, and then stopped?
I don't know, man, but
like he looks the same in A Star Is Born that he does in Roadhouse in the like 80s, 80s.
I don't remember.
80s. It's in the 80s.
Sam Elliott looks great in Roadhouse.
He looks fantastic. Sam Elliott, period. Sam Elliott looks great, period.
Yeah, great period, but
stash.
Sam Elliott looked great in Roadhouse. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Dude, how about that Keith David?
Yeah, one line from Keith David is perfect.
He like comes on at the beginning credits too, and I'm like, oh my god,
yeah, Keith David's
in this. And yeah, one freaking line.
It really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
don't think
I liked it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It just wasn't. Yeah.
Part of my problem with these remakes, and this extends even into the Ghostbusters ones, it's like you strike lightning in a bottle with this culturally significant movie that you made back in the day. Something that like people were going to see at the movie, like when the movies was like more of a outing or more frequented. Like people would go see movies multiple times in theaters because that was like the thing to do. Now, like now knowing it's going to be on TV in no time, people don't do that much anymore. So it was a huge. I feel like it was a bigger part of the culture at the time, and these movies blew up, and they're remaking them, and it's just like you're really just like not ruining, but you're like damaging the effect. Like you have, for a lot of them, I try to take comfort that we will always have the original, whatever it is, and no amount of bad movies can mar the original. But it makes it feel cheaper.
Yeah, and this one is weird because I think I might have felt differently had I seen it in the theaters, and that's what it was originally, I guess, intended to be, when they like sold it, like, because they greenlit the movie when it was MGM, and
Oh yeah.
and it was originally intended to be a theatrical release, and then Amazon purchased MGM and decided to go straight to Amazon Prime. And I think that's gonna hurt it, because I don't know. It's different when you're a more captive audience, you know. So I'm wondering if that would have changed the perception and the reception. But so far, I think it's kind of a dud. We'll see. We'll see if it picks up something, or I'm sure that at some point that there has to be a recognition that streaming does not equal eyeballs. I think that's a mistake that a lot of people are making. So I think that they're thinking, we can create our own streaming services and we can recreate the things that we've experienced with Netflix. And I think that they're starting to discover that Netflix is unique in either like an algorithmic way or in the place in the culture by being the first streaming platform. Because if you have like these random phenomenons where old shows will just pop off, like AMC. I think a lot of AMC shows experience this, like Mad Men and Breaking Bad, the Netflix effect, right? And recently we saw Suits come out of nowhere and pick up like crazy attention on Netflix. And then if you watch Peacock, all of the ads on Peacock are like, hey, you want to watch Suits? We have all of it here. It's like they're taking the wrong lesson away. They're like, you know what? Hey, our old shows actually perform pretty well. Let's put them on our platform and push them on our platform. Yeah. And what it kind of is there is a cultural significance to being on Netflix that is not replicable on Peacock or on Amazon Prime Video. Amazon Prime Video, my perception of it is it's like dad action movies. Like it's just
they have a deep collection of them too.
Like it's just Chris Pratt and Bosch and Roadhouse. Like it is like kind of old school in that like action.
I do go to Amazon Prime specifically if I am looking for like I know there's deep cuts in Amazon Prime. Yeah. That's not where I'm going when I'm like, hey, what's everyone watching right now?
Yeah.
Well, it also hurts all the other ones. Like Max, I think, does a really good job because they have a very huge library and
yes, but I think that the moat and the library on Max is getting worse. The moat of like, we have all of HBO, we have all of Warner Brothers. They're selling Warner Brothers movies outside, and I think that I talk about this enough. So like,
yes,
it's just a weird service. But yes, there was a period of time where I was like, Max is easily the best streaming service. I don't say that anymore.
I didn't like the name change, and I still don't love it just because I hate saying Max.
Yeah.
But I know there's quality content on Max, and I wish it wasn't just Max, but moving away from a brand in the title of the service, I think is big because Amazon, Apple, Peacock, these are all studio-specific services that have their own studio. Netflix is Netflix. Netflix is a streaming service. They do produce their own content now, so they are a studio in that regard. But it feels different streaming something like you were saying. It feels different streaming something on Netflix than it is Apple. Like you have to have a specific Apple title that you're gonna go. You don't just go and browse.
And it's weird because they're doing a lot of licensed stuff now. Like if you go into Apple TV Plus, there's like I don't know if it's available right now, but I was seeing like Edge of Tomorrow was available to stream. They're doing weird things around their different releases where they get either the genre type of the big thing that they're releasing, or they're pulling from an actor's a specific catalog. It's really weird, random, and not advertised well that they have licensed content on there. It's just
definitely not. No,
I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird. The streaming jungle right now is weird. It completely obliterated the original idea of having all that you could want in one place, because now we're just effectively buying cable channels.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating with everyone, the competition getting worse. And so everyone has to like charge us more, which usually competition breeds lower prices, but whatever. Like with ads, all the new ad versions you can buy for the non-ads, or you get what just added ads? Oh, like Prime. If you had Prime, like Amazon Prime, period, you had Prime Video, but now you have Prime Video but with ads. You have to pay for the little bit extra, and it's just like, God, when does it stop? I've gotten to the point where I have my perception of streaming services, and I'm not going to subscribe to Peacock. I want to, but I just like that's the line I drew in the sand. I'm not. That's too new. I'm sick of it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Until I really want to watch El Dorado, and then I'll break down.
Yeah, I mean, Peacock does have a good amount. Like, if you want to watch a lot of comfort NBC shows, great place for it.
Or I mean, Universal.
Yeah.
That's really why I want is Universal. You got the Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
They license.
Yeah, exactly. Like that comes to different streaming services like every other day. It's so weird.
Yeah. And that concept of being like, oh, that's probably going to be in something I have in not too long. That's why I don't buy the new ones, because I'm just like, Netflix will have that eventually.
It's weird.
They like all shot themselves in the foot trying so hard to do this new form of entertainment.
Yeah. Well, we've successfully killed 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Should we wrap up?
I think we should wrap it up.
Part
3?
Table for Who? Yeah, Table for Who.
Table for Who?
Part 3. So far, we have started with the premise of a man returning to a dinner table filled with lifelong friends. He sits down, and nobody at the table remembers him.
Yes.
We have added the kind of context of starting out with like 15 minutes of going around the table, people telling stories, lively conversation. Our main character gets up and goes to the restroom, and then he comes back and nobody remembers him. The reason for not being remembered, we pitched the idea of it's mystical. It's not sci-fi because it's just like stranger things have happened. But like an asteroid, for some reason comes around orbits the globe and shoots slingshots out of there. But the idea is something about this asteroid is making people forget this one person for some random reason, and it kind of feels like a 90s really like specific thing happening with no explanation, which I'm pretty into, actually.
I think so too. And how about we have him get up to go to the bathroom, and like throughout the like montage we glimpse back and forth at the comet coming towards Earth, and he gets up and it's coming, like it's picking up, and the implication is it's going to destroy Earth. I think. And as it gets closer and closer, there's something changes in the room while he's not there. I don't know exactly what, but we hype it up like this is like the world is about to end, and then at the last second it just misses and is pulled around.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Yes. What if it affects the room a little bit, like the like lights flicker or some
Yes.
sort of it affects. Yeah, what if it's like we go to a wide shot of the city that they're in, and all of the lights
Yes.
flicker
Yes.
on and off as the comet like kind of enters orbit,
Yeah.
and then as it passes, everything comes back on. We think everything's returned to normal, and then he sits down and nobody remembers him. So there's just like not really an explanation for why that is happening,
No.
but that is just the mechanism for us to go through this story
Yeah.
of him trying to figure out what's going on, and at the same time coming to appreciate some of the smaller things in life that he wasn't able to appreciate when he had all of these different obligations and things that he needed to participate in life, and
Yeah.
coming out of it as the asteroid leaves and people remember him again, with an appreciation and a new zeal.
Yes. I like. Yes.
Cool. So
Great.
who do we want? What tone do we want to bring into this? What kind of actor are we looking to lead this movie?
I in thinking of this movie, tint and everything, I keep thinking of what's the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Anna Kendrick? Not Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake Johnson.
Oh, Self-Reliance.
Self-Reliance. I'm picturing a Jake Johnson type, funny and outrage.
Yes.
Like you know, like he's particularly good at being angry at something, but in a very funny way. Now I don't know if it is Jake Johnson that we use.
He is offer only, I
think it's
hear.
someone else.
So I probably would want him to audition. So I don't think that.
Okay. Good point.
yeah.
We'll call him.
I don't.
We'll call him.
I don't know if he'll accept that.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah, he's a writer now, so.
Just to make sure that he's a good fit for the vibe, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll call his
Yeah.
agent. Who am I talking about? My agent will call his agent. Like I don't have time for phone calls. Okay. Yeah. So a tentative Jake Johnson.
I think we're feeling good about Jake Johnson. Supporting cast around him. I think. Who would be good? Probably like. Who would be good around?
Ty Burrell.
Ty Burrell. I think. Let's see. Probably Lamorne Morris. And Zoe Deschanel. Maybe a Wayans in there.
Yeah. On occasion.
On occasion. He
has a sparse role.
In the first, in that first dinner scene, and then we won't see him until about 3/4 of the way through, and then he'll just be in it for another like 10 minutes or so, and then he'll be out.
Yeah. Max Green.
Oh yeah, I think he would be good too.
I think he's I'm getting his kind of vibe. And then we'll just have a couple fun people come in along the way, like Megan Fox, Jane Lynch.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a good move. It seems to work for something.
Yeah,
but
Dermot Mulroney.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. Okay. Low key, cool idea for a movie is to take the entire ensemble cast of a TV show. Don't make a movie about that show. Like, don't make this New Girl the movie. Like, just make a different movie, like completely unrelated, but use everybody in the same. There's chemistry there. Yeah, we all know it already.
It works. It's a winning formula.
It works. I'm intrigued to see how the Oscar category for casting goes.
Yeah, me too.
because a little part of me is like, is that like if the actor or actress does well, I feel like that's more on them than the casting director. Like, also does the Oscar winner for director obviously did really well in whatever role it was? Is that like an automatic win for the casting director?
And another question: sequels. Are sequels eligible for best casting? Like, is Dune 2, Dune Part 2, is that going to be eligible for best casting? Because 75% of the roles were cast for a different movie.
You know, it'd be interesting. I didn't think about this. I was in my head winning the best casting Oscar was tied specifically to one person. Like, you cast Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides. You win the best casting award for that. I wasn't even thinking about it being the entire cast. That makes way more sense. Because when you were saying that example just then, I'm like, I think they could win for Austin Butler, but not Timothée Chalamet.
No, I don't think it is best single
that would be
character
terrible.
casting.
That would be so odd. Okay, that makes more sense. That feels more like a individual achievement than if one actor shines in a certain role. That makes a little bit more sense to me.
I agree.
But how do you quantify this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with the first one and what precedent that sets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, I think we are ready to move on from Table for Who. It's been a great series of.
It's been a wild ride. Yeah.
So I guess I have to come up with a connection for you now.
Yes. Zac Efron is he's in an animated movie.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I think I got it. All right. Zac Efron is in Horton Hears a Who? Is that right?
I don't know. I don't think.
Okay.
I think he is. No, he's in.
No, he's. Don't tell me. Okay. Don't tell me. I'm my bad. Who am I going to?
Jim Carrey.
All right, Jim Carrey. Zendaya and Zac Efron are in a movie. Okay, but Zendaya. Should I know this Zendaya and Zac Efron movie?
I think you should, but maybe not. Maybe you don't.
Is it a Disney? It's not like it's not a Disney Channel movie. Like it's not like the Sweet Life movie. It's live action. I'm assuming. This is a kind of a cop out, but Zac Efron is in Baywatch with Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson is in Jumanji: The Next Level with Jack Black, who is in Anchorman with Will Ferrell, is in Anchorman 2. Look it up. With Jim Carrey. It's a cop out. It's terrible. What's the Zac Efron and
Greatest Showman. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. Oh,
and
that's
get ready to hurt even worse.
That's awful. Oh,
Zac Efron is in Neighbors with Seth Rogen, who is in The Green Hornet with Cameron Diaz.
Nice.
Who's in The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Nice. That's good. I was trying to go. Jim Carrey's in Me, Myself, and Irene with Anthony Anderson.
Wow.
It's pretty funny. It's one of those. You probably can't do that again, but
okay. Well,
that's probably gonna do
it. That probably puts us at time. I'll probably be cutting a good amount of this. Get us.
Which
cut
is
us
just
down a little bit.
that content's just gonna be lost to the world. We should just do live. We should just do live shows.
We should just stream on Twitch. There we go. That'll be great.
Yes.
Well, this
Absolutely.
recording is probably going to be a lot longer than the episode that you will eventually watch. So
Definitely.
stay tuned
Yes. Stay tuned.
for the
Indeed,
deleted
please.
scenes. And you can subscribe to our Patreon to get the raw, uncut episodes. So that'll be coming soon as well. Just let us know, and we will set that up.
Yep.
So that will do it for that. Puts a nail right in the coffin of Table for Who. It's been a fun ride.
Yep.
Three-parter here.
Great ride. Yep.
We will catch you in the next one. We'll come at you with a brand new idea that will not be coming soon.
Brand new idea.
Well, thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And we sincerely hope you get to where you're going. So,
yeah.
how about that?
Don't ask me to spell that, but yes, we sincerely do hope you get to where you're going.
Today?
They change the spelling, don't they? Because every time I think I have a handle on it, there's another C in there. Or, the E's in a different place.
I before E.
There's an I now?
Except after C.
I don't know.
And holidays.
Yeah.
Well, bye.
Always be wrong.
I've
no
been
matter what
Jeff.
I say. Bye. I was Ryan. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Stopping by.